When Eastern Washington takes on Oregon next season, they'll be going up against a very familiar face. Quarterback Vernon Adams announced he will transfer to Oregon. I'm Antonita Collins with your ESPN headline. And for more on what this means for the Ducks and their offense next season, we are joined by Chantel Jennings, who covers Oregon for ESPN.com. Now, Chantel, at quarterback, Oregon has 4 players on their roster. Why were the Ducks interested in Adams?
Well, you kind of look at who they have on their roster. And the guy who's played behind Marcus Mariota, the Heisman winner, so you're sort of wondering how are they going to replace this guy. His backup the last 2 years has been Jeff Locke, and he's just not really the dual threat quarterback that Marcus Mariota was. And this isn't necessarily going to be a step in and do what Marcus Mariota job did, because that's just not going to exist for really any player in the country. But Jeff Locke just isn't a dual threat guy. Maybe he could get some of the passing yards, but definitely not the rushing yards as well. And so they were thinking about taking a transfer just to sort of have an immediate player who has experience at the college level. And yes, Eastern Washington is an FCS school, but if you look at what Adams did at that level, it's kind of sick. He was just tearing apart defenses, especially Pac-12 defenses these last few years. And so why not take a transfer? If there's room on the roster, if there's room in the recruiting class, why not take a guy who can come in and compete for that job? Maybe not necessarily be the starter, but at least compete for that job, who does have college experience.
Now, Chantel, how soon do you think we can see Adams on the field for the Ducks?
So, unfortunately for Adams, he won't be there for spring football because of class schedules and graduation. He will be at Eastern Washington until after the spring season. The Ducks will play their spring game in early May. So he won't be competing for that spot this spring. The other 4 quarterbacks will. But if you look at those 4 guys who are competing, they have an early enrollee, Travis Waller, who will be playing, Morgan Mahalik, Taylor Alley, Ty Griffin, Jeff Locke. Those 5 guys right now, they're all just sort of going to be competing for this spot this spring. So could he come in this fall and take the starting job? Absolutely. I think if you look at a guy, anytime he has playing experience at the college level, that's going to be a huge, huge boost to how he competes this fall. And I think, personally, going into this fall, I think he could be the front runner.
Once again, Oregon reporter Chantel Jennings with the perspective for all your college football needs. Make sure to keep it locked right here on ESPN.com.